Welcome to the Empowered Team podcast. I'm so excited to do this episode. It is a little bit daunting. I'm announcing something very special, and I'm very excited to share it with you. And I did not realize how impactful this project would be on me personally and on the people who have already started to explore and dive into this baby. And for those listening and don't have the video, I am holding up the hardcover book of The Human Algorithm, Leadership and Ethics in the AI Era. I am beyond excited, over the moon, to announce that my co-author Alejandro Dabdoub and I have finally gotten our book out. And it has been a labor of intellect, a labor of love, a labor of collaboration over the last year and a half in order to get this book out. And I'm going to share with you today one of the chapters so that you can get a little taste of AI in the context of leadership. Now, you might be in the boat of AI is scary. You might be in the boat of I can't stand AI. I'm never touching it. And you might be in the boat of, I'm really curious. I know this can help me. I don't know where to start. Or you might be already dabbling and realizing how powerful AI is. It doesn't matter where you are. This chapter and this book will really, really be powerful for you because we've structured it such that every single chapter has a topic, leads in with a story, and then we go into the content of that topic and finish with some powerful questions that can have you start to create your own philosophies around AI so that by the time you're done this book, you will feel confident around your beliefs and your usage of AI, no matter what you've decided. No matter if you decide you're not going to use it, you are going to use it, how you're going to implement it in your business, you know you will do so with confidence because you will have alignment with your own values. You will create your own framework, your own AI philosophy, and it'll be aligned with your ethics. We go through all of this in this book. So let's go into chapter 10. This chapter is called A Leadership Role for All in the AI Age. A Leadership Role for All in the AI Age. This is chapter 10. And I start with a quote by Satya Nadella. The true test of leadership in the AI era isn't how well you manage machines, but how well you manage human relationships augmented by machines. I thought that quote was really powerful to lead in. And I added one more quote here by Demis Hassabis. AI and humans are not on opposite sides. Great leaders see them as partners in the quest to make a better world. And that's really how me and my co-author view AI is as a powerful tool to augment our humanity, to augment our human connection and solve the problems in the world. Now, we also realize, and we reflect in this book, how powerfully dangerous AI can be. So let's start this chapter, and I'm going to take you back. It starts with a story. It's Winnipeg, in Winnipeg, Canada in 2005. Full of energy and curiosity, just like my then 5-year-old daughter, I took a leap into the unknown when I opened my small business venture. Among my first few employees was a standout student from a university class that I'd been teaching. Dedicated, hardworking, and absolutely integral to getting everything set up in my newly constructed space, he proved the kind of person every new business dreams of hiring. As a first-time entrepreneur, I didn't fully grasp the treasure I had in him. Soon, our small but mighty team was bringing in new clients, working with top-tier athletes and business professionals, and steadily growing the business. As a single mom, I took particular pride in the fact that this was entirely my venture, no partners, and all my money on the line. We used a straightforward payroll structure. Contractors, including my star student, simply received a percentage of the client fees. Yet when he started bringing in more clients, he asked for a higher percentage, even after I'd already given him a raise. His new request would have made his earnings surpass mine, even though I was handling more clients and keeping the business afloat. Feeling a sting of offense when we sat down to discuss it, I raised my voice. A loss of composure I rarely exhibited, especially with someone who had become a good friend. He told me he'd never been treated that way before, and it clearly hurt him. Although he stayed for a while longer, he moved on to another job and eventually opened his own facility. Years later, we remained friends. He came to understand my perspective after facing the same struggles with his own business. But in retrospect, I see that my leadership failed at that critical juncture. Despite my extensive experience leading national team athletes, teaching at a university, and coaching high-end business people, I stumbled in the most fundamental aspect of leadership, leading oneself. That moment served as a turning point for me. I realized how crucial self-leadership is, how our actions and reactions in those high-stakes moments can define us. It taught me invaluable lessons about how to handle future interactions, the essence of leadership, and about myself. In today's artificial intelligence era, that conversation may not have even taken place. Our payment plan, our approach, the potential solutions to the issue could all have been supported by AI before the fateful conversation that went wrong. Regardless, it still takes enough self-awareness and leadership to create solutions, with or without AI. In an age where technology often leads the way, true leadership lies not in mastering machines, but in mastering ourselves. AI isn't here to replace leaders, it's here to amplify our strengths and expose our weaknesses. As we journey through the 4 levels of leadership, from self-leadership to legacy, you'll discover why cultivating self-awareness and integrity is vital to guiding others in the AI era. This chapter invites you to redefine leadership as a commitment to purpose and people, forging a path where AI and human values converge. Dictionaries might define leadership as the action of leading a group of people or an organization. And that's certainly true, but I'd like us to evolve beyond this. In a world where algorithms often seem to influence our decisions, it's time to get intentional. Leadership transcends the act of leading. Being a leader today means more than a title, position, or rank. It involves clarity of vision, a particular way of being, and integrity in our actions. Let's examine those in greater detail. Clarity of vision to me is an idea, direction, concept, or plan that can be articulated in a way that others can readily understand and perhaps, ideally, even follow. Absent this focus, people typically struggle to follow what they cannot visualize, grasp, or understand. Now let's take a look at a way of being. The general identity of a leader, the underlying characteristics that make those people who they are. Most people are not inspired by others who are perceived as controlling, opinionated, self-centered, and micromanaging. Conversely, we're drawn to leaders we find compassionate, strong, empathetic, visionary, action-oriented, strategic, and engaged. That is the way of being of a leader. Integrity of action. Let's take a look at that one. A leader's typical follow-through or congruence. This is when they're holding themselves accountable for their own actions and projecting a steadfast belief in what they say and do. It makes them the kind of leaders people tend to trust. As we've emphasized throughout this book so far, even as AI evolves, its roots remain human, reflecting our choices, our values, and our ethics. The way we lead ourselves and others therefore shapes AI's role in our world, turning it into a tool that either amplifies our leadership or undermines it. However, while leaders might share certain qualities, not all leadership looks the same. This is what we'll discuss in the 4 levels of leadership. Level 1 is self-leadership. I mentioned that earlier. Like the foundation of a sturdy pyramid, this is the bedrock of effective leadership. Without it, every other leadership level eventually becomes vulnerable to faltering in some form. Self-leadership's three integral ingredients are learning to follow. Learning to follow, whether it is mentors, a system, whether it's learning a skill or gaining self-awareness in the process, learning to follow is a key part of level 1 leadership. The second part is knowing oneself. By understanding our biases and truly knowing ourselves, this allows us to lead with authenticity and integrity, because without it, we risk being led astray by AI, by others. AI mirrors our subconscious patterns. Number 3, leading oneself. So we've got learning to follow, knowing ourselves, and now it's leading ourselves. This is the self-leadership of level 1. It's complete accountability for our actions. This is the most important aspect of being able to lead others. Level 1 leadership includes everyone as a leader, setting the stage for greater breadth of leadership in levels 2, 3, and 4. South African icon Nelson Mandela's early life was shaped by learning from his mentors and understanding his identity, which later enabled him to lead with profound integrity and purpose. Mandela is a classic example of strong level 1 leadership that established the platform for what was needed later on his path to world-level leadership, world-class leadership. Level 2 of leadership is leading another person. So imagine you're passing a torch in a relay race. Leading another person represents a similar act of passing on knowledge and guiding someone else's journey, requiring a genuine desire to contribute, serve, and mentor. Level 2 leadership involves teaching or sharing our own experiences to help others grow. It's typically based on a vision or belief that what you've experienced and learned in your life can be passed on to someone else and help someone else. Steve Jobs, for instance, mentored many leaders during his tenure at Apple, including Tim Cook, whose leadership continued Jobs' legacy of innovation once Steve Jobs was gone. To truly have a positive impact, it takes as little effort as leading just one other person. We can have impact. We can then really be a leader. Almost anybody can be a leader. We believe that anybody can be a leader with these fundamentals. Level 3 is leading groups. The same way a conductor guides an orchestra, leading a group scales our influence to help create harmony and lasting impact. At this stage, leadership extends to teams of people, spreading the principles we've developed and ensuring they resonate through a larger community. For example, as PepsiCo's CEO from 2006 to 2018, Indra Nooyi led diverse teams to implement sustainable practices, significantly impacting the company's global operations. Positive impacts like hers would not be possible without others following and implementing the leader's vision. Leadership level 1 and 2 become even more relevant at levels 3 and 4 because a leader's ability to lead oneself and lead one other person gets magnified in a group setting. This might explain why some people excel as individuals in their respective fields, but when tasked with leading others, they falter. They may not lead themselves well or be able to transfer knowledge effectively to another. The same can be true in AI. Why are we so impressed with AI's abilities in some areas but not in others? Because humans are leading AI by teaching it what we want and providing data as well as context. But when we struggle at levels 1 and 2, we humans create a suboptimal environment for AI, which unwittingly evolves from our lack of self-awareness, our inauthenticity, and our lack of accountability. If we feed AI unethical or biased data, it simply mirrors our human flaws, replicating areas in which we can otherwise grow. Leading ourselves and learning to lead another is therefore fundamental to our future with AI. Level 4 leadership is legacy leadership, the kind that stands the test of time, similar to planting a tree under whose shade you'll never sit, but for whom others, perhaps generations, even the entire world, might benefit. With legacy leadership, a leader's vision and integrity can create ripples that extend far beyond their physical presence, permeating their cultures and systems to create enduring impacts. Take India's Mahatma Gandhi, whose leadership and nonviolent resistance has for decades now influenced civil rights movements worldwide. Gandhi probably never intended to change the entire world, yet that is exactly what happened to a certain degree. With AI, legacy leadership can now occur faster than ever before because what once took time to create, teach, and implement to groups of humans can happen exponentially faster. As a result, how we lead ourselves and others is more important than ever, considering that either conscious or subconscious leadership can and likely will be magnified by AI. Enhancing leadership with AI. AI can be a powerful ally for leaders, offering support in numerous ways, including enhanced thinking, where AI poses thought-provoking questions and provides insightful prompts based on massive amounts of information that are time-consuming for humans to process. IBM's Watson, for instance, aids in medical diagnoses by analyzing vast amounts of data, helping doctors make better decisions. It also enhances leadership with effective collaboration, in which AI helps with brainstorming, identifying gaps, and spotting mistakes. For example, Slack's AI-driven project management tools help teams collaborate more effectively by automating routine tasks and suggesting workflow improvements. It also enhances leadership by efficient delegation, allowing AI to handle routine tasks and thus freeing leaders to focus on strategic initiatives. How many times as leaders do we end up taking way too much time to craft an email or to review a document? AI can help make these things faster, freeing up our thinking time, attention, and energy. According to a study by management consulting firm McKinsey, AI has the potential to automate 45% of activities that people are currently paid to perform, significantly enhancing productivity. This doesn't necessarily mean we should eliminate human jobs. That's not what we're saying at all, but rather provide new learning opportunities for employees to enhance and advance into new roles. By leveraging AI, leaders can enhance their own capabilities, become more effective and efficient in their roles, while fostering improved work environments for all employees. Now let's examine some specific possibilities. Creating intentional cultures. Leadership is crucial in shaping organizational culture. If leaders don't intentionally craft a positive culture, a negative or dysfunctional one is more likely to take root. Leaders must emphasize and embody the values and ethical guidelines of their organization, whether it's a company, a school, a family, or some other community or group. This intentional culture will naturally guide behavior toward AI, ensuring its use aligns with high ethical standards, underscoring the importance of intentional culture creation. A Gallup poll found that companies with strong cultures have 72% higher employee engagement. Whether it's in the workplace, at home, or in educational institutions, AI can be utilized to support the values and actions that make up culture in groups. Enhancing leadership at all levels. Leadership isn't limited to formal roles. Everyone has the potential to lead by guiding themselves with integrity and with values. This foundational self-leadership enables informed decisions about using AI ethically and effectively. Google, for instance, encourages all of its employees to lead initiatives and projects, fostering a culture of innovation and ownership at all levels. More workplaces can support this level of self-leadership by seeking input and encouraging creative initiatives. An emphasis on asking questions. Questions are the filters through which we shape our thinking and our actions. In the context of artificial intelligence technologies, asking the right questions ensures that AI applications align with our core values and ethical frameworks. Really, that's what this whole book is about, is allowing ourselves to create our own ethical frameworks and utilizing that to work with AI. Consistently posing questions about alignment with values keeps AI usage on track with an organization's missions. Cloud-based software company Salesforce uses AI to enhance its customer relationship management, but continually poses ethical questions to ensure data privacy and trust. This should be the rule with every company, not the exception. Another topic is continuous learning and adaptation. The rapid pace of AI advancement necessitates continuous learning and reassessment of core values. Regularly evaluating our values ensures that as technology evolves, we stay aligned with our ethical standards and goals. This proactive approach prevents us from being unconsciously swayed by technological changes. Auditing and consulting leader Deloitte reports that companies with continuous learning cultures are 92% more likely to innovate. As human beings, when we change and grow, our values shift. Making sure we update how we use technology based on our evolved values will help guarantee that we are consciously using technology instead of doing so mindlessly. Another topic is fostering human-centric workplaces, not necessarily AI-centric. Maintaining a workplace where people are the top priority involves educating employees about AI and integrating technologies in ways that enhance connection, efficiency, and effectiveness. Open, transparent dialogue about AI's roles help alleviate fears and fosters collaboration, leading to best solutions for all stakeholders. Footwear company Zappos, known for its strong corporate culture, uses AI to enhance customer service while maintaining personal connections with customers. We can also take advantage of optimal use case scenarios for modeling purposes and learn from their growing pains. We also want to use AI in leadership to adapt to diverse audiences. Acceptance and resistance to AI vary greatly by audience, so providing examples that align with each group's specific values and ethics remains crucial. These examples should illustrate how AI can enhance human connection and ethical practices while demonstrating the technology's potential to be a force for good. More than half of business executives surveyed by PricewaterhouseCoopers believe that AI solution implemented today will enhance human decision-making and strengthen organizational values. However, if employees don't share that same level of AI confidence, conscious education and supporting examples may be needed to bridge that gap. Lastly, staying connected. Leaders of all kinds must maintain strong connections with their teams because doing so supports individual and group values. These values can be regularly reassessed to create alignment with actions, maintaining an ethical and effective integration of AI. Companies like outdoor outfitter Patagonia maintain a close-knit community culture by regularly engaging with employees and customers, ensuring their values are reflected in every aspect of their operations. These examples demonstrate that there's a leadership role for everyone in the AI era. By fostering self-leadership, creating intentional cultures, leveraging AI effectively, and maintaining continuous learning and connection, we can share the responsibility of navigating this ever-evolving landscape with integrity and positive impact. Now, as with all the chapters in the book, we end with questions for reflection. I'm going to leave you with these questions and a scenario for you to ponder for your leadership in this AI era. Questions for reflection. What does self-leadership mean to you in the age of AI, and how might you strengthen it to better navigate the ethical challenges posed by AI? How do you currently demonstrate self-leadership in your AI interactions? What aspects of your leadership style need adaptation for the AI era? How will you model ethical AI behavior for others? In what ways can AI support rather than replace the human elements of leadership, such as empathy, creativity, and ethical decision-making in your organization or life? What steps can you take to foster a culture of continuous learning and ethical AI use within your team or organization? How might you engage diverse perspectives and involve others in shaping a positive, inclusive role for AI in your sphere of influence? How will you measure leadership effectiveness in AI contexts? After all, we're in a new zone. It's a fresh space. How will you foster an ethical AI culture in your sphere of influence? What values will guide your leadership approach to AI? How will you measure effective leadership in AI contexts? How will you engage others in ethical AI development? And lastly, here's a short scenario for you to consider in the context of AI. As a volunteer at a local community center, you seek an opportunity to introduce AI-powered programs to help job seekers. Some community members are enthusiastic, while others are fearful. How do you lead this initiative? All right, now I feel like this is an advanced story time, where you sit around with the kindergarten people and kindergarten kids and read them a book. It's story time, but this is a much more adult, advanced version of it. So that is chapter 10 on leadership in the context of AI. And the book is very powerful in helping people with AI. So there's so much more here. There's digital tools at the back of the book. So I hope you enjoyed that chapter. And if someone's uncertain about leadership in AI, by all means, share this episode, because we're here for one thing, really. We're here to inspire, educate, and empower. And the way that we empower, I am not the all-being one to empower another. The way we empower is by inspiring and by educating, because when you take that on, you educate yourself, you are able to self-lead, you learn areas that you want to be a master of various things for yourself. That's when you're empowered. You're taking the actions that are going to have positive impact for your life. That's how we define the empowered. We're taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of others, we're taking action, and we're up to something larger than ourselves. So pick up the book, check it out. I hope you enjoy it. It's been a fabulous journey. And if there is someone you'd like to share it with, or you want to share myself, Kari, and my co-author, Alejandro Dabdoub, we are here to support in this realm. Have a wonderful rest of your day and keep going. Empower your week.